A press conference is meant to be calm and controlled, but this one exploded into chaos the moment tensions boiled over.
It reminds me of like one of those budget YouTube hood movies where someone just talks about their whole life and what they've come from and talking as if they're from one of the ghettos in Iraq or Africa or somewhere like that. But you know, he's got a sob story, he's running by it, and that's what makes him feel better. So we respect it. I just kind of listened and said my piece.
And you said to him, what have you done? Tell us what you've done.
Because like, you line up all the heavyweights. He was just talking about, oh, he's this, he's that, he's that. I said, but why are you worrying about what someone else has done? What have you done as a fighter to kind of boost your ego up? But he couldn't answer it because he ain't fought no one like.
Press conferences are usually a stage for microphones and mind games, but this one erupted like a volcano. Jake Paul played his usual role, grinning and pushing boundaries, until Anthony Joshua snapped. AJ stepped forward, eyes locked, exuding enough is enough energy, making it clear that this wasn't some online stunt. This was serious heavyweight business.
If I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna break his face, I'm gonna break his body up, I'm gonna stomp all over him. That's my mentality, right? That's a fighter's mentality, and I know what's in my heart, I know what's in my mind, and I'm here to compete. I'm here to prove myself that I'm the better fighter, so I'm looking forward to it, and I'll do that until I finish fighting, no matter who it is.
Don't matter. We're going to fight now. We're going to fight tomorrow, he snapped. Suddenly, the room felt way too small for two egos this massive. Security surged in, voices climbed, and cameras shook as a crowd erupted like they'd just witnessed round zero of the main event. One thing was crystal clear. Jake Paul may have thought this was another marketing stunt, but AJ just turned it into a real fight, the kind where feelings get bruised long before faces do.
Netflix have spent a lot of money, MVP have spent a lot of money, and Jake would look like a plonker if he pulled out the fight now after giving it the big one. And he knows that, and this fight's happening, you know, and that they, you know, they think, look, one thing I'll say is this: if there was ever a good time to fight Anthony Joshua, it's probably now, right? Coming out of what will be 14 months of inactivity. By the way, he's also been in training camp for 4 weeks or 5 weeks, the time comes around. He's having to make weight. Maybe the confidence isn't where it has been in his career. So yeah, you can start
sliding right out of the press conference chaos and straight into Teddy Atlas territory. It's like sitting at the family dinner table while Uncle Teddy pours hot truth over the mashed potatoes. And when a legend like Teddy leans in and says, hey, don't be shocked if Jake Paul actually has a chance, you almost choke on your drink.
The choice of where people want to go to watch, it's still their choice. Before we look at all the reasons why Joshua should smash him, he's a pro fighter, two-time Olympian, two-time heavyweight champ, you know, bigger, stronger, you know, highest level of fighting at this weight class. I mean, he should destroy him like he destroyed Ngannou. And a lot of people will use that comparison. But styles make fights. And Jake Paul's not going to fight him the way Ngannou fought him.
Teddy breaks it down like he's solving crime. Jake's younger, faster, and smarter with those sneaky contract clauses. Joshua, he hasn't fought in forever. He's cutting weight like he's auditioning for a modeling gig. And mentally, who knows which version of AJ shows up. Teddy's basically handing us a checklist the internet forgot to mention. Surviving 8 rounds might already be a win in Jake Paul's world.
Maybe Paul has some advantages. He's younger. His feet are a little faster. I know he's not at that level of a fighter, I get it. But his feet are faster. Joshua's feet are not that fast, closing gaps, getting to somebody. To hit him, even if you're better than him, you still got to get to him to hit him. Also, Joshua, last time he fought was over a year. He hasn't fought. He was basically retired. Where's his mind?
He even throws in Netflix lawyers like they're guarding the fate of humanity, insisting they're not signing off on a live disaster special. And we're all sitting there thinking, wait, is Teddy Atlas actually saying this upset could make sense? That's when you realize this fight has officially evolved. From circus to science experiment to maybe, just maybe, we shouldn't be laughing too hard just yet.
I'm just putting it out there that before you just say, yeah, it's gotta be Joshua. Don't discount how smart Mr. Paul has been. so far. I wouldn't count him out in the ways that I just laid it.
Sliding right out of Teddy Atlas and turning the Jake Paul versus AJ circus into a psychological thriller, we crash straight into Dave Allen. This guy speaks like the bartender who's heard too many wild stories to believe anything anymore. He's staring at BoxRec like it's a crime scene file, double-checking Jake Paul's past opponents just to make sure his eyes aren't deceiving him. And we're all nodding along, because this matchup really does feel like someone hit the randomizer button on boxing.
I reckon this kid Jake Paul could win an area title, definitely. I really think he could. He trains hard. I respect all of that. I respect him for what he's doing. Brilliant, he's having a go, amazing. But he's now fighting arguably a top heavyweight of the last 10-15 years. One, it's dangerous. We're talking like it's a real fight. The whole thing I've been doing right now is based on it's a real fight. They're both going to try and fight each other.
Dave starts reading Jake's resume like it's a roast menu. YouTuber, check. Basketball guy, check. MMA fighters who retired before TikTok existed, check. And when he gets a Tommy Fury, lovely lad but only area title level at best. I swear even my coffee pauses to listen. Allen gives Jake his flowers. Top 3 heavyweight of the last 15 years versus a guy who used to weigh 13 stone fighting YouTubers. Brother, even logic is trying to tap out. Then Dave does what every honest boxing brain eventually does. He says a quiet part out loud. This isn't funny. It's dangerous. Heavyweight sleep mode. Dangerous.
It's dangerous. He's not a heavyweight, he's a cruiserweight, if that. Turned pro at 13-2. And he wasn't a kid, he was 23 years of age. He wasn't a kid, he was not grown into heavyweight. He boxed hold us as 5 months ago at 14-3. Might cut a bit of weight, might come down from 15 stone, but it's dangerous, really. It's dangerous. Very dangerous, because if Anthony Joshua hits him on the chin, he will put him to sleep.
The moment AJ lands clean, Jake might start wondering why the world suddenly has 2 moons. And Dave isn't being hateful. He literally hopes AJ knocks Jake down clean. Jake gets up at 10 o'clock. Everyone collects a mountain of money, and we all move on without a hospital visit. But then Dave hits the nightmare scenario. What if AJ actually hurts him? What happens to the sanctioning, the promoters, the whole sport? And as he's laying all this out, we're sitting there with that same nervous grin because yeah, it's all fun and memes until a heavyweight cannonball touches a cruiserweight job. Dave wraps it up perfectly. He'll watch it the same way you watch a circus stunt that looks entertaining but might end with a paramedic.
The intrigue is there to watch it from, yeah, I will watch it. The same way I would go to the circus to watch, to be entertained by something a bit mad. But Anthony Joshua for taking the fight, I'm not sure, so there's a lot of money to turn down, to be fair. But if Anthony Joshua goes in there with Jake Paul, plays nicely, wins on points, takes longer than 2 or 3 rounds, reputation with the casual public done, I'll watch it. If he's holding up and playing nicely, I'll understand. I'll watch it and think, well, he could have stopped it.
Sliding out of Dave Allen, breaking down the AJ versus Jake circus like a theme park safety manual, we land straight into Steve Gifford, the guy who's been inside Jake Paul's camp, taking jabs for breakfast, watching the madness unfold up close. Steve sounds like that one friend who goes, yeah, bro, it's crazy, but hear me out. With a parachute in hand, he tells us Jake's mentality is a real wild card. The dude genuinely believes he can beat Anthony Joshua. And honestly, that kind of stubborn confidence is half the reason this fight even exists. Steve explains that Jake has been itching to show his levels, to prove he's more than just a YouTuber with a right hand, but business politics kept throwing him ex-NBA players and semi-retired MMA guys instead.
Joshua, you know, he's accomplished everything in boxing, from Olympic gold medal to now a 2-time undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. So I think as far as him taking this fight, if anybody deserves to go and have a fun fight like this, it is Anthony Joshua. And Jake, you know, he is kind of showing that he'll fight anyone.
Now Jake finally gets to test his full arsenal against a man who hits like a runaway fridge. It's like skipping driving lessons and jumping straight into a Formula One race. Admirable, but terrifying. Steve just nods, grinning like, yep, let's see what happens. Then comes a classic UK debate. Is AJ chinny? Steve reacts like someone just insulted his grandma's cooking. He breaks it down perfectly. Heavyweight punches aren't love taps. They are meteor strikes. Ruiz, Dubois, Klitschko, they could flatten anyone. And when asked if Jake has the power to hurt AJ, Steve goes full scientist. Speed equals power. Translation: danger doesn't always arrive wearing a cape. It sometimes sneaks up with Nike footwork.
And why is he chinny? Because he got stopped by Daniel Dubois and Ruiz. I mean, listen, this is a contact sport, you know. Like if you get hit, the human body's not made to be getting punched in the face. If you get hit, especially by these guys, Andy Ruiz, who's a good puncher, Dubois, we know is a big puncher. You get hit clean, you're gonna go. You're possibly gonna go down. Especially those guys, 230, 40, 50 pound guys.
He says Jake is quick, sharp, unpredictable. But he also admits Joshua isn't here to play patty cake. The man is preparing for Tyson Fury next, and Jake is trying to crash that party like a wild card villain. So the real question isn't, can Jake land? It's, will he survive what lands back? That suspense is exactly why we're all counting the days like kids waiting for a roller coaster drop. This whole AJ versus Jake Paul saga is part blockbuster, part science experiment. Joshua turned the press conference into round zero, and now he's training like a king, sharpening his crown. Meanwhile, Jake is out here rewriting the script with wild confidence, elite sparring partners, and relentless preparation. Teddy Atlas warns us not to ignore the sneaky variables. Dave Allen calls it entertaining but genuinely dangerous. And Steve Gifford breaks it down scientifically. Mentality plus speed might make this way crazier than anyone expects.
But I would imagine he's going to come. He's going to be on his P's and Q's. He knows there'll be a lot of eyes on him for this fight, so he's going to be looking to make a statement, because I think they have plans of him fighting Tyson Fury next. So I think he's going to take this very seriously, and Jake's definitely taking it very seriously, and he's going to try to ruin the plan.
At the end of the day, if AJ shows up locked in, it could be a farce, good night for Jake. But if Paul survives long enough to make us raise an eyebrow, we might just witness one of the most polarizing shockers boxing has ever seen. Now it's your turn. Drop your prediction in the comments. Who takes it? How long does it last? And is there any universe where Jake actually pulls it off? And don't forget, like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters. We'll see you in the next one.